Yeah, ever played Portal? Pretty rad, right? So 86 miles per hour with air conditioning. Really lucky that Indiana didn't have a bunch of 90-degree days here. Cards are happy. I've actually had the garage door and multiple windows open today, and the cards were really happy. I actually was able to change a few overclocks, get more efficiency, more hash rate, so not a bad deal. In Flux Mining here with another update. I'm still really sad I don't have those on the wall and everything else Back to the Future that I have, but you know, we'll get there. This is where we're at, ladies and gents. So tons of octo miners in the wall. This is the full view. Mind the mess, build in progress. If you've been watching the videos, you know this is a residential thing, and I'm trying to do as much as I possibly can. But I made some progress last night with that, and I'm sure everybody can tell right now, those are not the dimensions of an Octominer 12. Those are the dimensions of a Mystic Miner version 3. That's right, I finally got my hands on one. Like, I'm telling you what, color to me can like really make some impressions. And look at that. To me, that is one sexy mamma jamma. I mean, even look at the Octo's reflection. Isn't that pretty wicked? Yeah, it is. Look at that. Fans with the black guards. Cool, you know, utilitarian. No problem. No hate. Chrome on Corvette red with a 5-inch LCD screen and a cutout Mystic Miner logo. Like, seriously. It's kind of hot. I don't really see a lot of sexy in the crypto community, so I'm just gonna say it. Slightly attracted. Anyway, so I got a chance to actually go to Mystic Miner in Columbus, Indiana, and I was so highly impressed by the CEO. Jay is an amazing guy. He cares about the product. He cares about the consumers of the product. And this guy is young, talented, insanely smart. And like many of those out there, was in a completely different career path. But then crypto came along and he got the bug and he started this company. And so Jay, again, thank you so much for your time. Like, it was really a pleasure to see you, and I'm looking forward to seeing you again. Anyway, back to the case. So this is the Mystic Miner version 3. I have not had my hands on Gen 1, Gen 2. I've seen videos out there, and this is the best of the best that exists at this moment in time. Look at this screen. I mean, we all have our comparisons. If you guys and girls have been in this game for a minute, we know Octominer. We know the other cases out there, but it's pretty much Octominer, Mystic Miner. Those are the terms we hear. So many similarities. With this case, it's a bit different, and I'm just gonna call it out because everybody recognizes it. It's not those sexy fan shrouds, but it kind of is. No, it's the 5-inch LCD. Are you kidding me? Like, I want functionality, I want purpose. I've got tendencies of OCD, ADHD, and I'm telling you what, Octo, as much as you have been hardcore, like for the entire community, That screen does not cut it. It just doesn't. It's not usable. It's not functional for any purpose that I have. The lights, absolutely. The buttons that are labeled, absolutely. However, this is something I wanted before I even knew Mystic existed. And I'm gonna clue you guys in on something you don't know. This screen, it's not a view only, gang. It's a touch screen. That's right, you just heard me. This is a touch screen. In the current version, touch functionality is not activated. However, there is a software update coming out in the very near future. This is a touch screen with stylus, folks. Game changer. Jay is all about bringing up the game. This moves the needle a lot, especially when you're running a lot of rigs. Anyway, let's get into this case. So I have one last open air rig in this facility, and it's causing a lot of heat. I'm down to 86 tonight, thankfully. However, 13, 14, 15, 16 cards right there, my AC, it's troublesome. I want to get my LHR rig, what was previously called the LHR rig, moved in to my new Mystic Miner case. I want it in the wall, and I want to see what my temps are. Now, I've yet to actually go through with a video that shows you like all the granular details about the exhaust room, like what's on the other wall, why are we keeping this such a secret? And I'm so sorry. I just haven't found the right like content for that yet, but it's coming very soon. I do get a lot of questions about what's holding these up, how is this happening, things like that. I just was very fortunate to buy the house that I bought with a room on the other side that is perfect for this particular application. Again, at the end of the day, pure dumb luck. I'll take it. So I have a lot of LHR that I am going to be removing from this rig, and I'm kind of sad, gang. In this particular building, I've got this rig and this rig left. So much carnage over here. Open air rigs, unused power supplies, like the carnage is everywhere, and I literally feel it. It's an interesting transition coming from one video card in September on one mining motherboard, catching the bug, right? And still horrible about cable management. I mean, I'll call it out. Yeah. Still bad at that. You know, Red Panda and others, they got their game on lockdown. I just, OCD plus ADHD, it's conflicting battles. But you know, like, I've always had the vision to get this stuff moved into the exhaust room since I bought this place, and I'm so excited that I finally have a Mystic Miner to do that. I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna tell you just a little quick bit about this, and then I'm gonna get it loaded up. Look at that. Power of camera magic. I literally just willed that to happen. Pro tip. This top fits one way only. Yeah, tried it several times. One way, you know. Hopefully in another revision, it's a little bit more intuitive, but I'm not hating. There's only 4 screws on the top. 1, 2, yep, 3, 4. And I love these little metal guides that are inset. Nothing on the outside to deal with, like it just goes right where they're supposed to. I really dig that. Everybody is familiar with the 12 card layout. And coming from the facility, they actually connect a lot that needs to be connected. But just again, if you don't know, there are certain connections from the board that come in for the fans and other controllers, and they're clearly labeled. They're red. The red connections are those splits from the board into controllers, into fans. So if for whatever reason you receive this from the manufacturer and it's not set up, mine's not set up because I just grabbed it. I didn't do an unboxing because I didn't want the box. I just wanted it in my car and at my house as soon as possible. Red connects. It's pretty obvious where they need to go. It's very intuitive, gang. So again, same layout we're all familiar with. This is an upgraded chipset over the Octo, okay? This is a bit beefier than what we get in there. Might not be a big deal to most people because we're GPU farming, right? But then you look at those crazy folks out there like Rabid Mining, and although I've not really broached into the CPU mining aspect, I just wonder, what can I get out of this versus that? I've not checked. I don't know who's better. I just know I can make some more money with my CPU. Something to think about, kids. Last time I checked, this is $1,050 roughly, shipped, US, all that. But I'm telling you what, like, both of these are extremely awesome. But I am drawn to the color, the style, the layout, and one other thing that really impresses me. And if y'all have had your Octos, you know what I'm talking about when I say this. Look at our slots, okay? Boop, 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 boop. Look at our fans. Boop, 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 boop. All right, these are not 140. They are definitely 120. Why did they go with 120? It's cost. There's a night and day difference between 120 and 140. However, what's most important about this is the layout. If you are running an 8 or a 12, we have the same inherent problem. We have a card that is within 1 to 2 to 3 millimeters against the wall. And in my experience, those cards continue to run hot, right? It's not a thermal pad issue, it's an airflow issue. I'm sure Octo is going to improve that in the future. But again, there is no issue with this one. You have direct airflow straight through for all your cards. I think that's kind of key here, gang. Yes, we do have something kind of interesting with this setup, which I actually like. Some folks might not know this power supply is actually manufactured exclusively for Mystic Miner. That's right. They're not doing the hot swappables, and I actually pointed out this is a single point of failure. And I got schooled. It was recognized that this was a single point of failure. And the response I received, in over 2 years, only 1 to 2 of these power supplies have come back as failed. That is a confident leadership team that cares. They made their own power supply because they know their product. They studied it. They knew the questions that would come out. And yes, single point of failure, but they have definitely gotten the research and the data to know they've got no issues there. Now, we've also seen in another video or two, yes, these strands are two connects, right? If we want to run a bunch of 3090s, which I personally would never do, the spacing is the exact same as the Octo 12 as far as, you know, millimeters in between. I'm not comfortable with that myself as a miner. Maybe other people are doing it and they're fine with it. Me, myself, I'm just not. I also bought in the bull run. I'm not like some of the lucky few that maybe are buying higher end cards during this whole bear crisis and are getting some lucky deals. I just refuse to put my cards through that kind of stress. I don't know the stress test, the numbers, the heat, I just don't. But for me, I can't ever foresee myself loading up 12 3090s in this particular configuration or in an Octominer configuration that close together. Maybe one day I'll take a look at, I think it was DJ Mines or Chump Change, who stripped off the fans for other cards. Maybe there's an opportunity for 30s, 70s, 80s, 90s. I've just not tried. A little lazy some days. Anyway, you can add another power supply right there, boom. You can buy that off their website. It is out of the way. You can have 12 3090s, more cables right there. I also want to point out one other thing. So on the back, right, you don't have all the individual spacers here, metal spacers like the Octo does. And let's be clear, like, are those really needed anymore? If it was a one card setup, you know, I understand Octo's got it because that's kind of like the norm, but I'm not a norm kind of person. I always ask questions. I always challenge status quo, and I really like what they did here. They're not needed. If I am going to fill this up, I really don't need it. It's just less restriction for exhaust airflow. So anyway, there is the back of this if you've not seen that yet. Now, I'm gonna tell you, there's another version coming out, version 4. There's some bells, whistles, and doohickeys that will be a part of this. Heck, maybe even a paint change. But that's not for me to say, and that's too soon to tell. I'm sure we will get updates from the company as far as their timelines and all of the cool new features that will be available with that product when it's time. I will respectfully ask, though, for one thing. And I know there's a lot on my wish list that's already going to be taken care of. And I know this component is known too. It's just the cabling at this point. Like, what has been done with this LCD and what it will do, especially in the next version, is it's just totally tubular. Okay, it's rad in my humble opinion, but let's just get a bit longer cables that we can tuck away to the side. That's all. You know, that's really going to be my only nitpick. You know, it's great that we got you know, hard drive support here in a lot of places, but it would be kind of cool, you know, if Mystic could source an SSD or micro, and just have that included. You know, less to deal with, but again, I'm not hating on it. This is a really awesome product as far as I've seen out of the box. So for the rest of my night, I'm going to get off of here. I am going to tear apart these really just amazing open air rigs. Again, I gotta say it, that was my first rig, and it had so many more cards before I started hacking it apart, but I was so excited to have the blue fans. Like that right there, just that in itself, having, you know, 5, 6, 7 cards and the blue lights, like, I was pretty awesome. Learned a lot in the last 10 months. Times have changed, overclocks have changed, LHR doesn't exist. We've got server cases out of the wazoo. We've got Neoxa and other chlorines just like grabbing our attention. Gang, and this isn't even the Wild West yet. If you've been in crypto, if you've been in mining, probably all of you much longer than me, we know this game is still in its infancy, right? What we know about crypto, the power of blockchain, NFTs, what's gonna happen with like house titles, car titles, things like that. Like, you've not seen anything yet in this space. Is mining gonna go away? It definitely will not go away with Ethereum going to POS. It just won't. So, thank you so much for spending, a lot of time with me tonight. I really appreciate the views, the commentary, new in this space, but, it's all about everybody just, learning and helping each other out. Take care of yourself. Take care of your family. Take care of your friends. And, hey, let's just be decent human beings to each other. Hope you all have a great evening.